leaving Nayo on the southbound trail.
Now, over to my guest this week is Fra Onimbo. As I told you earlier, he's a web technologist, and the topic of discussion is how does it help Kenyan musicians? And what are the musicians supposed to do or avoid, and the future of web technology for music globally, specifically Kenya? Well, that's Ron Pearson there, walking out of the studio, and he's just said that he's released a single out. As I promised you when we started off the program, I have a web technologist who is Fra Onimbo. He's just walked in. Fra, hi, how are you doing?
Mzuri sana, thanks for having me.
Rand Pearson is from Tennessee. You know where Tennessee is?
Yes, Tennessee is in the south. It's Nashville, Tennessee is a home of country music.
No wonder it's doing country.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a home of country music,
music.
the birthplace of country.
Fine, he's just talked about a single that is released is in all the platforms. Mm-hmm. And you're here to enlighten us about this platform. He's talked about Name It. Mm-hmm. How does it benefit out of it?
Visibility. You're opening up your market. You're making the world smaller. Gone are the days where you could only sell music from a shop to whoever would pass by. People would see you on Music Time with Fredo Bachimachoka and say, I want to buy that. Now, the world is your market. The more platforms, each of us has a favorite platform that we like to go to. So if we can find you there, even better. Not all of us like the same platform. So when he says all, he's just widened his reach.
Okay.
Yeah.
The benefits and disadvantage of this.
Benefits is, the most obvious one is the reach. Mm-hmm. Everyone.
And exposure.
And exposure. People who didn't know you before actually know you from the playlist, from the AI. The AI tells you, based on your listening history, I'll play you this guy, and you're that guy that was not there before.
Yes.
So that's a benefit. Disadvantages...
And monetary. Mostly.
And monetary, basically. Disadvantage, maybe it's a lack of control, since it's an external company controlling and dictating the terms and conditions. How much, when they'll pay you, sometimes even the rights, they can decide to make your tracks downloadable. Maybe you just want them to be streamed. So you cede some form of control. It's not much of a disadvantage, but some people might see it as that.
Well, there's a lady who's actually coming after you. The name is Tabika Mao. She's an artist. She's just recorded an audio, and she wants to go to record for YouTube and the like. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could advise, like she was telling me, was on her way here, that she's going to record this. Mm-hmm. Do you have to go to a company to register your music for it to be on the social media? Or you can take it yourself? Because most of them, they just do it themselves.
Social media is free for all. That's a good thing and that's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. The good thing is, of course, visibility. Then you don't have to go through any paperwork or anything. The bad thing is it's very hard to protect your music on channels like those, where some people have made YouTube videos downloadable. So if you post your audio, it will be available to them illegally.
Pirated.
So they can pirate straight from YouTube, and that's a downside. So the good thing about the platforms that we spoke about, the streaming services, is that it comes pre-protected. What they do, the model is access. They give you access. They do not... Gone are the days where you got music, you owned music. They've gone from an ownership model to an access. So if I get access, if I pay a monthly fee for something, I have unlimited access to the music. Mm-hmm. Instead of paying maybe 300 shillings per song, I pay one time. And so that kind of investment they put into that company help them invest in protection technology. Digital rights management. Your music is more protected than on channels like YouTube. So that's the downside of YouTube. It's not hard to get in, but you're not very protected. So that's why I advocate for just promo videos, not the whole song. Yeah.
So what is your advice here?
Do promo.
Promo meaning you do
short, maybe at most a minute and a half. And then give people a taste and then tell them the platforms your music is on, the full song.
Okay.
Yes.
So on YouTube, we just give them a bit of what's up.
You can give them
a sneak preview.
If you want to go the whole way in protecting your intellectual property, it sometimes it can be, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I can see somebody dubbing the whole thing. Why should I?
People like us are used to getting access to the full song on YouTube, and then now you change and put just a promo. So that's a downside, but it protects your song more. Then it gives you, at the end of the video, you can put a list of all the platforms that your music is on, how they find you, because YouTube has become vulnerable to piracy. There are tools that people use to...
So what happens after the promo for a minute or two, and then they go for the whole stuff? How much does it cost now? After getting the promo, now you go to listen to the real thing.
The promo, maybe a minute and a half, okay. Not the whole song. Basically anything less than a song.
So how will they get the whole song?
That's where you can put graphics or a link at the bottom of the, or you put links in the description.
Fantastic.
Yes,
These are things that the Kenyan musicians, they don't know. They just put that stuff on YouTube, but they just want the viewership.
Exposure. It all comes down to exposure. Get advice on what
this
to do.
viewership. Does it pay? Like they're normally talking about, see, my song has been viewed by over 1 million and whatever. What does that mean?
That's the threshold. It's if you get to that threshold of high numbers, it pays. But before you get there, all you can get from it is exposure and visibility. Sometimes that's good payment.
But the best payment is where you give them a minute and then the whole thing, they go for it.
And then they go where they can actually pay you, where you get that today money, not the 1 million views later money. You get the today money
not this
from
thing over
the platforms.
Yes, like this lady who's a gospel artist. She should be here any minute now. Tabi Kamau. What advice do you have for this particular lady? Because she's talking about going to shoot the single that she's releasing in Kikuyu, and she thinks when it is on YouTube, she'll get money and viewership, and you as a web technologist, what advice do you have for such kind of upcoming artists and those ones who are established but they don't know what happens about web technology?
YouTube is good for visibility and exposure. Get your name out there, get your work out there, but also do not stop there. Get your music on all these other platforms, Spotify, Deezer, Pandora. Get your music in as many platforms as possible, because not all listeners subscribe to the same service.
I know.
So you want to have your work everywhere, including YouTube, of course, just so you optimize your reach. And that's very, very important. And also she needs to protect her music.
That's Tabi Kamau, yeah.
Yes, Miss Tabi Kamau needs to protect her music. I believe a few months ago, I was here for the Kenyan Artist Show. We were talking about technology for the Kenyan music industry, the technical aspect of it, the metadata, where you have different types of information that is attached to your digital property. We have the first property, which is the descriptive, where you have the artist title, you have the track title, the album, the track number in the album, the artwork for the album, and then you have the second, the rights.
That's very expensive for an upcoming artist.
No, it's not. People told me I need to use easier. Sometimes it gets too overwhelming. Someone can think, oh, that's a big thing I need to do. No.
You have an example of a Kenyan artist, maybe you've checked their YouTube and what have you, who's going as far what you're talking about, or maybe
everyone who is on the streaming services now provide that. It is mandatory for you to provide your metadata for them to actually run your work on their services, because that's how it operates. Because without metadata, even their AI runs their recommendation services, their playlist. Like John likes to listen to Fundi Konde, or country music, and then you have their AI sees you've listened to about 5 tracks of Don Williams. So they'll recommend someone similar or a song similar based on the third type of metadata is the recommendation metadata, which is mood. And so maybe happy song or so it mixes the genre, the mood to recommend the next. So with metadata, it assesses the music. Metadata is basically information about
your stuff.
Yes, the
content,
track and who, the what, where, who, when.
The personnel involved here.
The personnel involved. The composers sometimes when they go a step further. Yes.
So who's this artist that maybe you can see is going the right way? Your right way.
I could pick anyone because right now they are all on the streaming services. You see someone like John Vigeti.
John Vigeti.
Let's say John, for example.
John Vigeti used to be the hip hop group.
Kala Mashaka.
I'm the referee, the Mr. Vigeti. Toka Kala Mashaka. Maisha kule chini mazini na kutumia mazini ingawa tuko chini bado tunatumaini sikiza kwa makini tafsiri hii maisha kule chini mazini na kutumia mazini tafsiri hii ingawa tuko chini bado tunatumaini sikiza kwa makini tafsiri wewe unastahili kunipa nafasi nitumie Swahili mimi zuru mpaka kila nation nikitangaza kubwa Afrika kuna matata basi mashaka wadogo kwa wakubwa huku nasi tunapata hakika hatuna kichwa wala kia hapa akina boho kauzi sasa wako kwenye mida wape hiyo correct fububia fila nilishika microphone kila siku ili niwe kama Puff Daddy ama yule Basta hakuna tumaini nadhani nitakuwa ka Omondi ama Rasta yani washa nikijaweka akilini sasa nitazururua haraka nipate angalau chupa kadhaa za Taska ili nisahau hizi tabu zangu
na 40 sijaribu kustay alive vile si survive 95 tulianza kuroga ili tupate za boga sio jojo kukokoga ni mziki kucheza ili geto tuweze toka tukishaomoka vika vijana soka wachini ya maisha kabisa geto tutatoka bila kupiga watu tisa tumaini siku moja chapwa utakuja kuingiza na utakuwa ukitembea bila kulizwa yani unaenda wapi utakuwa ndani ya sido ukishia kula hapi najua kwa huu wakati ni ngumu kuamini ama unashindwa utafika huko lini kwani wazia utotoni umekuwa kule chini na masikini umekuwa ni rafiki utapatwa na riziki maisha kule chini masikini na pia kutumia masikini tafsiri ingawa tuko chini bado tunatumaini sikiza kwa makini tafsiri maisha kule chini masikini na pia kutumia masikini tafsiri ingawa tuko chini bado tunatumaini sikiza kwa makini mabesta kule ghetto nini ita hapa chimo jaro zangu na squad ya watu 10 na bili kama ya Jesus nilitamani jaro za credit card na visa constantly kwenye kona nakumbuka saa 2 usiku nikiona yule mzee akishikwa koo bala nashindwa nikimbilie nani jambazi hapana polisi hapana watanitia pingo hata bila sababu maisha ni magumu nilikataa elimu mama yangu alidhani mimi ni wazimu siku nusko nikaanza kupo lyrics moja kwa moja pata heshima kama pop smile siku zote piga tu sababu nimepata lita 2 za kuku tafsiri siri wengi toka ghetto na wisi maisha kule chini masikini na pia nikitumia masikini tafsiri ingawa tuko chini bado tunatumaini sikiza kwa makini tafsiri
maisha kule chini mazidi ninalia nikitumia MIC tafsiri hii ingawa tuko chini bado tunatumaini sikiza kwa makini tafsiri hii maisha kule chini mazidi ninalia nikitumia MIC tafsiri hii ingawa tuko chini bado tunatumaini sikiza kwa makini tafsiri hii maisha kule chini mazidi ninalia nikitumia MIC tafsiri hii ingawa tuko chini bado tunatumaini sikiza kwa makini Zano, tafsiri, Kariobangi, tafsiri, Nahuruma, tafsiri, Jerusalem, tafsiri, tafsiri, Nahenge Coast, tafsiri, Kisumu, tafsiri, tafsiri.
Tafsiri. Yes. So let me go to the greater group, to Kalamashaka. If you look at the metadata for Tafsiri Hii, the track title would be Tafsiri Hii. The artist would be Kalamashaka. I can't remember the name of the album.
We'll take it out shortly.
Yes,
because
yes.
Definitely is on YouTube.
So when you use a music discovery service, for example, Shazam. I have Shazam on my phone. If I'm in public transportation or at a place where there's music, and I hear a particular song, I can't figure it out who sang it, or it's something brand new to me. I turn on that app, I tap on the discovery button, and then it listens to certain key. Yes. And then it identifies based on what it has listened to and what it looks through its database of
Whether to accept it or not.
whether it's recognized. And then it gives you...
Is it?
Yes, it gives you the track title, the artist, the album name,
I'm talking-
the year,
Okay.
the genre.
Wow.
So it's very important to get all these, and it's not very overwhelming. You'd be surprised how easy it is to get that done, but it is mandatory.
Yes, I'm talking to Fra Onimbo, a web technologist, is here to enlighten you about web technology. Now, what's the future of web technology?
Music, context.
Let's talk about Kenya. Yeah.
Locally, we are still yet to embrace, we're still afraid of AI, but that's the true future. It is here now. AI is present with us. For example, I've just spoken about the streaming services. They use AI to create the playlists and to actually tell you the next song you should listen to. Like if you search for Sundowner, you can find a playlist called Sundowner KBC. And
Not necessarily from KBC.
not necessarily from
KBC
or endorsed by KBC or sanctioned by KBC, but maybe just a listener created it. One, it could be user created. Two, it could be AI created based on your preferences.
How does Sundowner benefit out of this? Because the name is from...
Visibility and exposure. Sundowner is a brand on its own.
Yeah, but we don't need that exposure anymore. It's been here since the 1930s.
But the younger, our children, right now we are teaching them about John Obongo Jr., about,
name it.
and because that's what we grew up on, that's what we listen to now.
Okay.
Now the younger generation is what we're also reaching to when we...
Lastly, anything about
Yes.
web technology and what do you do, and how can somebody catch up with you so that you can enlighten them more about this, because time is short.
No problem. I operate under my brand, Vurilani Interactive.
Vurilani.
It's a digital production agency. It activates brands for businesses. By brand, I mean what you want people to see you as. You might be an artist, you might be an insurance agent, you might be a business. So by activating the brand means that the potential of the business in terms of visibility, access to markets, and your digital presence, basically. Your website, your metadata, the technical aspects of your digital property, like the track titles, graphic design. We also do graphic design. Just the full digital presence picture.
I think you should talk to this lady who's just next door. He's just on her way here. What's her name again? Tabi Kamau. So what are your contacts, just in case somebody's just listening to this and is interested to get to know more about web technology?
Yes, you can visit our website at vurilani.com. That's VURILANI. That's V as in Victor, U as in uniform, R as in Romeo, I as in India, L as in Linda, A as in Alpha, N as in Nancy, Nancy, I as in India, vurilani.com.
Thanks for having the time to come to our studios.
Asante sana.
You're welcome. Anytime. Fra Onimbo, web technologist there.
Leaving Nayo on the southbound train.